Hi, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jeff. And welcome to WineGeekTV, a weekly web show dedicated to helping the average Joe and Jane like me learn and appreciate wine each and every episode from an expert sommelier like Mr. Keycheck. Our motto, sir.
If you learn one geeky wine tip per episode, Jeff, we've done our job. Today's episode is all about
run-on sentences.
We've done this episode before, actually, but there's so many out there. It's easy show to do twice, 3 times even, if we get the opportunity. Maybe next time we'll do mostly white grapes. But this is about grapes you don't see every day, off the beaten path varietals.
Do you find that people, when they go up and see a name of a wine that they don't see Merlot, Cab, Malbec, whatever, they don't recognize the name, that they don't buy it as quickly?
Yeah, these are usually hand sells. These are something you have to take up to people. Nobody is coming up and asking for a Gaglioppo. Hey, can you show me your Gaglioppo section? Doesn't happen. So that brings us to our first wine.
I definitely had Gaglioppo realigned one day.
Oh, okay.
It was all out of whack.
Did you just put deodorant on?
No.
I can smell it. This is the Brandy. Now, this is from the toe of the foot of Italy down here.
Well, I'll put maps up. So.
Okay. Sorry, you do it. Doesn't work.
Well, it's bigger snap. No, it wasn't even that.
There we go.
Right
down at the toe of the boot here, right on the coast of the Ionian Sea. All right, see it there? Good.
So what is it?
This is, the grape is called Gaglioppo. The producer is Librandi. The area is Ciro. C-I-R-O. Okay. So, here we go. This is pretty much the only, there's a couple, this is the most important grape variety in
you just said it.
Calabria is the little toe.
Okay. Right. It's very light. I was looking for a piece of paper.
It is very light.
It's very
almost looks like it reminds me of cranberry juice.
Yeah.
It's got that real kind of and it has, you can tell it's probably unfiltered. It has kind of a haziness to it as well, but it's
okay.
Something fantastic. This is the 06. So what you're going to get here too is it's medium bodied. It almost has kind of a Pinot Noir feel in the mouth. It's very zippy, but kind of a different fruit, and it's more rustic. It's not just a shining example of California wine. This is, it was rustic,
I was just going to say,
layered.
Very different from the Californias we've tasted, and surprisingly enough, I've never said this before, I think, but I'm getting leather. I'm getting leather on the nose.
Big acidity here. This is something you can actually even chill down a little bit and drink in the summer. Almost like a Beaujolais. But pretty neat, works really well with the foods of the area as well. What do you got? Perfect with something like eggplant parmesan, which is kind of it's where eggplant parmesan was invented down in Calabria. All right?
Very interesting nose, very different in taste on the palate.
That's pretty nice stuff. I mean, I like that a lot. I don't think it's something you drink every single day, but fun stuff nonetheless. Fun to try, and it's going to go well with lots of easy Italian food.
That's good.
All right, moving on. So here's from Apulia. This is the Ampello Malvasia Nero from Salento, which is in Apulia, which is the heel of the boot, starting at the spur, going all the way down the longest continuous coastline in Italy. All right, so this grape is called Malvasia Nero. Nera. There is a white version of Malvasia or Malvasia, so that's why they put the Nera on there.
Okay.
Yeah, so this you oftentimes see in blends in stuff like Salice Salentino, which I think we've had on this show before, like the Torino Salice Salentino. There's a bunch of other ones out there. But you don't see it by itself too often. That's why I think this is kind of interesting.
This one's much darker.
Much darker, very purpley and intense looking, very fresh. I mean, this looks like it was picked yesterday, just thrown into the glass. And again, the same thing on the nose. That is super intense, almost a Malbec-y. It's got that violet note to it. Right.
That's tasty.
Yeah, that actually kind of reminds me of a Malbec, to tell you the truth.
It's a little milder than a Malbec. It's not as peppery.
And
it's really good.
The finish isn't really there either. It's dies fairly quickly.
Hold on for a second.
But you can see why, in certain blends, this would be pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Big fruit up front. I mean, the fruit is all there up front, and it just kind of goes away. Good stuff, though. All right, Malvasia Nero. Look for it at your local wine store. Okay, moving on. This one isn't that weird. If you've been around wine for any length of time, you've probably run into a Pinotage from South Africa. Interesting story about Pinotage as well. Well, here, this is the Graham Beck Pinotage Pinot 2008.
Okay.
Pinotage, made in about 1925 in South Africa. It's a cross between Pinot Noir and a cross between a grape called Senso.
Oh, I was going to say Meritage.
No. Senso is the local synonym for Senso in South Africa is Hermitage, hence Pinotage.
Okay.
All right. So what they were trying to do, they were trying to make a grape or create a grape that had kind of the qualities of Pinot Noir, that little bit of earthiness, big cherry fruit, but combine it with the easy, happy-go-lucky growing style of the Senso grape.
Okay.
And this is what they came up with. And the first actual bottling was in the 1950s sometime.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting nose.
So, what some people say is that what actually ended up with Pinotage is that it took the worst qualities of both grapes and made this. I'm not a huge Pinotage fan. I can drink it, it's fun to have a glass once in a while, but...
Hence my interesting comment.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing in the world. I have tasted some that are pretty neat. I've tasted some that are just weird as hell. This one's kind of in between, for me. All right. Easy going, a little bit dry, decent acidity, nice with barbecue in the summer. It's not super full-bodied. Pinotage.
All right.
So what they're trying to do with Pinotage was try to come up with like a signature red grape for South Africa. Okay, and that's kind of what people think of Pinotage as. Over the years, Pinotage has kind of been, people are realizing maybe that's not the way to go, and Syrah or Shiraz has been kind of pushing Pinotage away.
All right, so Pinotage, Malvasia, and what?
Malvasia Nero and Gagliopo.
Gagliopo. All right, well, none of them made me Gagliopo. They were pretty good. So,
I wouldn't hope so.
Thanks to Wine Thief for letting us shoot in their store. Wine Thief at www.winethief.net and in sunny Mac Groveland, St. Paul at Fairview and St. Clair, as well as
Zips Liquors in historic Minneapolis off 94 in Riverside across the street from Chutai. www.zipsliquors.com.
They provided the wine.
They did provide the wine.
And you provided the expertise.
And you provided the handshake and the friendship. And
Have a
the
good
camera. Ooh, your wrist cracked.
Have a good week.
What's that, Jesus. What's that,
Any problem today? Food. The area. Italy.
Wait.
That's how you get ready. You go.
Hi!